What's up guys, One here, back here with another video. In today's video, we're doing some more gaming content, giving you guys a video on Sonic Frontiers' new gameplay footage that released today, as well as the new PlayStation Plus subscription releasing today, and why I think there's a possibility for old Sonic games to be returning on the subscription. Now, I have to point out that this is the first few gameplay clips that we got that actually had the game running in 60 FPS, and let me tell you, I think it really helped with this gameplay footage because this game looks a lot smoother than how it did beforehand. Sonic's movement looks a lot better, and here in this gameplay clip where he's battling a new enemy that we haven't seen before, it looks really good. I mean, this enemy also, its attacks, you know, the way how it moves around looks very good and unique. So far, the animations for the enemies so far for me are looking really good. Now, in this next gameplay clip, we have also a new enemy that we haven't seen before. This one having a rotating, what seems to be a rotating type of circle around it, and it's obviously shooting some missiles at Sonic, which is very interesting. Now, I will say this Sonic's dodge animations also, to me, just look really good and polished, in my opinion. Obviously, there's some animation fixes here and there. It does look like there's still some bugs, but so far, the gameplay, this is probably the best gameplay we've been shown so far in terms of all the gameplay, so I will say this gameplay footage that we got today definitely gives me more hope for this game to be successful. This enemy also moves around a lot, it shoots missiles, I mean, it has a lot to offer, especially with that rotating circle that's in the middle. It seems like it has spikes on it or something like that. So yeah, it's a very interesting enemy. I'm very interested to see this in-game when I'm able to finally have my hands on this game and go up against it. It's looking really interesting. Also, the circle loop that Sonic does in this gameplay footage definitely looks really good and polished. The animation for it looks really nice, and I think it really helps. It's really helped by the 60 FPS footage. Now, this gameplay footage we've already seen before. This is the same tower that we've seen before in other gameplay footage that we've gone before, but here, there's a bit of a difference compared to the other one. Now here we're obviously seeing Sonic go back up to the tower, same way, same type of stuff, but it's in a different path, and here when we see him go up the rail, we still see that climbing animation, which is still bizarre to me. I mean, it's odd because Sonic then just runs up it, like, not even a second after, which is crazy. But here's where I have a lot of more hope for Sonic's movement in this game. It feels like, obviously, he's able to tilt more, and that's a good thing, because I don't want him to be fully automated, just running in the same direction, because even though there's more space to control him more and tilt him more, so that's good to see. Now here also, as obviously we see Sonic here, when he does his stump animation, he then goes on the rails, and they finally fixed the animation when he's going from left to right on the rail, so that's good to see. Keep this in mind with this heart collectible, as it's actually important for something we'll be talking about later in the video. Now in this next gameplay section, we see some Eggman type of equipment, mechanics or something like that around this area. I'm very interested to see what Eggman's role is going to be in this game. Obviously, we see his stuff around, we see the Eggman logo obviously on the stuff, but here's where I feel a bit iffy. This animation looks so strange when Sonic falls off the platform here. I mean, it looks a bit weird. It's a bug, obviously. I'm expecting that to be fixed. And here, when he's going up against this enemy, this is such a sick animation. I mean, Sonic literally just flings the enemy, and then that's already wraps for the enemy. That was great. See Sonic running here more. Honestly, I gotta say this, the gameplay just looks a lot better in this gameplay clips that we got, this gameplay footage that we were able to get today. It just looks so much more polished, in my opinion. Obviously, there's still some room for improvement. Obviously, there's some bugs still then and there, and it does look still a bit automated, but still looks better nonetheless. Here we got some puzzle gameplay, and this is actually a new puzzle that we haven't seen before, but it's still pretty basic. I mean, you hit these platforms, and then you do the homing attack again to land on the platform in order to get up to the main platform where you are able to turn on the switch, and that's going to be able to open up more in your map, and you've completed the puzzle. Again, same song and dance. It's still kind of a bare bones puzzle in my opinion. I mean, this is a very simple and generic, basic, very simple puzzle, but again, it's interesting that there are these different variety of puzzles. This does involve Sonic's homing attack, which is a plus, so there's that. I mean, obviously Sonic's advantage could be used for a lot of puzzles, but yeah, it's still a simple puzzle nonetheless. Now, this puzzle we've already seen before, but it's new footage because Sonic does his circle loop again in this clip, but what's interesting is when he does his second circle loop, it's a really massive one, and I'm interested to see with the skill tree if you're able to unlock more of the skill tree and more for the circle loop, if you're able to increase you know, the size of the circle loop, how big it can be. So yeah, very interesting that we got to see that in this footage clip. I'm interested to see more down the road and down the future. But yeah, that's all we got in terms of new footage. Again, the game looks a lot better. There's a lot of animation improvements, a lot of movement improvements for Sonic. Obviously, there's still a bit of automation. Some animations still look buggy. I wish they were fixed, but other than that, you know, the game does look a lot better with this new footage than what we were shown before. Obviously, I feel like a lot of that is helped from the fact that we actually got 60 FPS footage. You know, before it wasn't 60 FPS footage, now with 60 FPS footage, I think it looks a lot better. But also, I just feel like they did improve a lot of the gameplay. I do think that the combat looks a lot more improved. I think Sonic doesn't look as stiff as he did before. I think he's more, you know, more smooth than what he was before, and it's interesting. You know, there's a lot of new stuff that we did get from this, and there's a lot new intel and information that we were able to get in terms of this game. One of them being the fact that there might be 2 different styles of gameplay that this game has to offer, and I'm really interested to see what's the changes, what's the differences in both of them. And also, there's a fishing minigame in this game. If you guys have noticed in the gameplay, there are these purple coins, and these purple coins have a shape of a fishing hook on them. So that means that is there potential for Big the Cat to be in this game? Obviously, Big is a character who, obviously, the only time we were able to play as Big was in both Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes, but in Sonic Adventure, he was by himself. We got to play with him just as Big, and he had some fishing gameplay, and I'm very interested to see if Big makes a return, if possible, with that fishing type of gameplay. It's a fishing minigame. I'm interested to see how the fishing minigame controls, how it works. I'm very interested to see. Is it similar to Sonic Adventure 1? Is it different than Sonic Adventure 1? I'm very interested to see how that works. Another bit of news that we got is the fact that Amy is going to be having some sort of shop. I'm interested to see where you're going to be able to buy in the shop. Are we going to be able to buy skill points for the skill tree? How do we even get skill points for the skill tree? I'm assuming it's through Amy's shop. Amy's shop is going to be interested. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the way how you can access Amy's shop is if you go through the open world and you collect those hearts that we've been seeing throughout the world. I'm interested to see how much that plays a factor, how much we can buy in Amy's shop, and how much that's going to play a factor in terms of the game and the different moves and the combat that we're going to be able to get, and just in general with the skill tree. I think it's going to play a major factor in the skill tree because I think Amy's shop will be able to help us earn skill points, buy skill points, maybe even buy some other stuff that we might be able to get. I'm very curious of how Amy's shop is going to play a role in this game. I think Amy's shop low-key could play a major role. So yeah, that's everything to cover so far for Sonic Frontiers in terms of what we got. Today, a lot of stuff released for this game. We even got more coverage throughout what's been going on in Summer Game Fest. It seems like Summer Game Fest now is having a lot of coverage for Sonic Frontiers. Obviously, we're midway through June. There's still a lot more news to come out, so I'm excited to see and hear what we're going to be receiving from this game moving forward as the month progresses. Now I want to talk about the PlayStation Plus new subscription. Obviously, the new PlayStation Plus subscription comes in 3 tiers. There's the low tier, which is PS Essential, then there's the second tier, which is PS Extra, and then the third tier, the highest tier, being PS Premium. Now, obviously, the PlayStation Essential is basically the normal PlayStation Plus that you usually get. Then there's PlayStation Extra, which comes with more features, but then PlayStation Plus Premium is the one that's the more expensive one. It's the one that brings a lot to the table, and it's a subscription where if you get the PlayStation Plus Premium, you're able to play games from a collection of library from games from PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP, and also the PS4. Now, it released today, so obviously there's not a lot of games in the classic library as of right now, but what I'm expecting is later down the road they do add more, as I'm assuming they add more games almost monthly. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think there's potential for some Sonic games to be put in this collection library of games from the past. So I'm going to tell you guys some games that released from the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. So we have Sonic Heroes, we have the Shadow the Hedgehog, we have Sonic 06, we have Sonic Riders, we have Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, and then we have Sonic Unleashed. Now, these games that I'm about to mention are games that were in PlayStation Now if you had the subscription, and you could have gotten them off of PlayStation Now. So we have the classic Sonic games, and then we also have Sonic Adventure 1 and then Sonic Adventure 2. So I'm assuming this could potentially be in the PlayStation Plus Premium Classic Collection if they ever decide to add some Sonic titles. These are a great collection of games. I would love to see them on there. However, the possibility of it, as of right now, I would assume most of these Sonic titles would come out in the beginning of next year or something down the line in 2023. But there is still a chance, there's still some possibility of them potentially being in the PlayStation Pro Plus Premium Collection. I would assume that they would add games that were already previously in the PlayStation Store, so I'm assuming stuff like Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, some of the classic Sonic titles. I'm assuming all of that would probably be in it, Sonic Unleashed as well. I'm assuming all of those games would potentially be in this collection if they ever want to add some Sonic titles to it. So yeah, that's why I think they're probably going to add some of these games to the PlayStation Plus Premium subscription, simply because they were already previously in the PlayStation Store, and I think, if anything, they could possibly be added on there. Obviously, the classic library so far right now, obviously, because it just came out today, the new PlayStation Plus Premium subscription, it's little as of right now, but it does look really good, especially because there's a lot of games in the library already. I believe there's like already 800 plus games. These are some of the classic titles. There's not a lot of it right now, so I'm assuming if they do add more, which I'm assuming they would almost monthly, realistically speaking, I could see a lot of Sonic titles being added. I don't think all of them will, but I do think a lot of them would be added. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure you drop a like down below, drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos and content coming your way. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.